Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and thank you for inviting me to speak at the annual Birkbeck Scholars' Evening. I've done a great deal of public speaking in my career, but never before in a room of such academic acumen, allegedly. Prior to attending Birkbeck, I had achieved 5 O-levels and 1 A-level. My old headmaster had actually not considered me for the 6th form, as he was convinced that I was never going to get the necessary amount of O-levels. He wrote that I would go far, but not necessarily at his school. You can imagine the gnashing of teeth when I reappeared after those summer holidays post O-levels. We wind forward some 40 years to February this year, and I find myself standing outside the LSE, breathing in that rarefied scholastic air as I accepted my place on the master's programme starting this September. Ooh. I had and have indeed gone far. After 17 years working for the largest international trading companies as treasurer, global head of structured finance, and a trader in oil and metals, living both in Madrid and Amsterdam, I decided to start on my own. I have now created one of the largest independent political and credit risk insurance brokers in the world, and the Texel Group is widely respected for its innovation and service levels in what is an increasing and complex geopolitical and credit environment. We were in the Sunday Times fast track for one of the fastest growing companies in the UK in 2012, in addition to winning numerous industry awards. We have offices in London, Singapore, the United States, and Costa Rica. The lack of any formal degree never hindered my advancement in business or my appreciation of what this world has to offer. And yet, I always felt that I was missing something. A number of years ago, I was stretchered off a plane at Heathrow and endured extreme pain in the form of acute pancreatitis. For a few days, it really was a close-run thing. So having faced my mortality and won, for the time being, I may add, I started going through a list of activities that I wanted to complete before I finally departed from this earth. Getting a degree was one of them. I applied to Birkbeck because of the international relations and global politics degree being so complementary to my career. It also gave me the opportunity to continue working at Texel. I planned specifically long-haul flights carefully and took on board, literally, huge amounts of reading material. Weekends were spent poring over documents or going to the Birkbeck Library. And this went on for 4 years, and finally, I graduated. And during my time at college, I met many people from all walks of life. For example, the single parent who needed a qualification to climb the corporate ladder, the pensioner who was just interested to learn more about a particular subject, the foreign component that arrived for the brilliant education and stay because of the numerous advantages of living and working in London, and were all blessed by their desire to contribute to our community. It was and is a humbling experience being exposed to home students who wanted career changes, but had to study for 4 years, sometimes longer, to gain a qualification that will lead to a better quality of life. And that is Birkbeck. A glorious, wondrous melting pot of energy that produces creative, hard-working talents who have an independence of mind and a spirit to match. The sacrifices that Birkbeck students go through are multiple. Combining work and study leaves little time for anything else. One could even argue that attending Birkbeck is a reasonable form of contraception. A little risky, but I thought I might get away with it. Those single parents who have childcare, a job, and study to contend with have to juggle enormous daily challenges in order to achieve their goal. And it is a privilege to be able to help some of them with funding. And I know that there are a number of donors in this room who share my commitment. In short, Birkbeck is transformational. And as such, a Birkbeck degree is unlike many other university degrees due to the immense sacrifices that many of my fellow alumni have endured. And then there are the professors and lecturers, a few of whom are here tonight. I personally remain friendly with a number of them to the extent that just yesterday, Professor Rob Singh lectured at Lloyd's of London on the possibility of a Trump presidency. I said possibility, not probably. There's still time. Birkbeck doesn't stop once you graduate. As alumni, I have found it absolutely inspirational to have ongoing involvement. We started our own foundation a while ago, and it's involved in health, education, and social impact. And Birkbeck covers certainly two of those aspects. Social mobility is critical for a vibrant democracy, and education at Birkbeck is at the forefront of this. It needs and requires the necessary funding to fulfill its ambitions, whether through state or private sources. I'm therefore proud that the Texel Foundation has and will continue to support the great work that goes on there, and I thank you all for continuing to have faith and support for Birkbeck. So thank you for listening. And now, Richard Harrison, a fellow graduate. Over to you.